All right. I want to welcome you to Correction. Whether this is your first time or your next time, I want to welcome you to Say More Saturdays. Well, the only thing that's new is my perspective. And I may not always like y'all ass, but I always love y'all. So today, as you know, is February the 13th. Tomorrow is, for all you lovebirds out there, tomorrow is Valentine's. So whether you have somebody, oh, this is before we get into the topic for the night too. But before we get into the topic, whether you have somebody, whether you don't, um, it depends. Like it might be a good day for you, it might be a bad day for you. But hey, whatever situation you're in, be happy with the situation that you're in. Because oh yeah, shout out to you, baby. Thank you for that heart on Facebook. But yeah, whether you're in a situationship, a locationship, or a relationship, I mean, I guess you chose that, right? You're happy. So with it coming up tomorrow, if you don't get to see your dude because you the side chick or he married, just understand that self love is the most important thing. Self love. That's what we're about. Self love day. Gonna take myself out to dinner. Gonna buy my own roses. I don't need a man. I don't need a woman. So um, enjoy that, man. Hold that. Take that. Take that L. Because you might be lonely, but understand that. Oh, actually, yeah, today is Self Love Day. Look at that. February the 13th is Self Love Day. So for all y'all that either A, don't celebrate it or don't have anybody because you don't want a man, and that's another thing, bro. Like, I know this pandemic has been rough. When you got it shut down and you couldn't go nowhere, for people that say self love is so important. Self love is the most important thing. You don't need anybody. Had to be rough for you, man. And for y'all who couldn't get out to see your side chick or your side dude, it had to be rough for y'all too. But now I just wanted to give a shout out to y'all, all of the people that are showering their self with gifts on Self Love Day, or you're buying your own roses tomorrow. Like, go ahead, girl. You don't need a man. All you need is your damn self, because nobody can love you better than you can love you. All right, good on you. But let me share my screen. Let me share my screen so I can show y'all something my baby sent me in regards to and it's something the city girl said. So before I jump into that, before I jump into the live tonight, I did want to, just kind of give y'all some of that same energy that y'all be kicking out. So let me share my screen real quick. And as I do that, let me go over to what I'm talking about. All right. So as I jump over here, what I wanted to show y'all was, and this is something the city girl said. So if you read right here what it says on the screen, y'all a little too depressed about Valentine's Day. Remember, real ass bitch give a fuck about a nigga. Just remember that. So when you're lonely and it's a little cold in your bed tonight, tomorrow night, and the day after tomorrow night, maybe a side dude to bring you those gifts by. Maybe he won't. But the comments in this post is a little bit what's a little funnier to me, because you say you're not bothered, but then I go and start reading the comments. All right, let me go back to those. So first comment, we just don't want to buy our own gifts and stuff. I don't really see nobody buying you nothing if you ain't with nobody. Remember, you don't need a man. See, other lady, that part. She said, who said, shoot, I got a bomb dinner plan for me, and I got my cycle with no cramps, and I don't have to be bothered with anyone's ashy son. Ashley asked something funny? Funny, but still, you in this post comment, so you probably care. Next lady, Shayna, don't give a fuck. Uh, was it Celica Carter? I buy my own stuff. Fuck out of here. Yep, still is. Nah, y'all a little bothered, but just hold that. I just want y'all to hold that. This it's Valentine's Day. Just hold that. Remember, you don't give a fuck about a nigga. So let me go back to the screen. But let me jump into the live tonight, into the actual topic, because this is something that I've been struggling with. And to just give y'all a little bit of peek about behind the curtain about me, I was born on a Saturday. So maybe that's why I enjoy doing this so much. But what I'll do is I think about stuff all week, and then Wednesday I'll start putting it together, and I'll come up with my live topic and what I want to discuss. So the topic tonight is: should you still support the political process? Now, that's completely up to you. It's completely up to you. If you remember earlier this year, or it was last year, yeah, it was last year around voting time. I did a live, and the question was: should you support the political process? It was completely up to you. It was non-biased on my part. I didn't want to try to sway anybody any other way. But since doing that live, I've sat down and I've thought about it a little bit more, and I'm like, bruh, even in a pandemic, they still moving the same way. These politicians are still moving the exact same way. Like, they give a fuck level is still at zero. It's been at zero. It's gonna stay at zero, from what I see. But just to take a quick break from that, anybody that's in here, I appreciate you. Like I always say, whether you're here for 5 seconds or 5 minutes, I so appreciate it. You know, show me a little love. Whatever platform you're on watching me, a like would be appreciated. Comments, anything like that is also appreciated. But I want to give a shout out to my boy. I want to give a shout out to my boy DJT. My boy DJT, I don't know what he made out of. You know when like planes crash and they can only recover one thing from the plane crash? They can only recover the black box. Whatever my boy DJT is made out of, I call him the Teflon Don. Or like the non-stick coating on a pan or whatever. Whatever the hell he made out of, nothing sticks to him, bro. Nothing sticks to him. They tried to impeach my boy again for the second time, and he was acquitted. My boy was acquitted today. So I wanted to bring that up and just kind of speak about that for a little bit too because I'm gonna still get into my topic. I'm still getting into my topic, but what I wanted to bring up about that was when you could be doing something else with taxpayer dollars. When you can be doing something else with taxpayer dollars, instead you deciding to try to come after this man again. He said, oh Lord, but baby, you know I got to do it. You know I got to do it. So if you're looking at Microsoft News right here, it says Trump acquitted by minority of the Senate on the charge for January 6th. And so I was talking about that, bruh. Do you realize how nobody really talking about what happened January 6th no more? That shit is hush hush. So y'all bring my boy back and try to impeach him again. And so it didn't work. It didn't work. And I'm like, bro, if y'all want to try to put him in jail, I get that. You know, if you want to try to put him in jail. But other than that, like, what are y'all doing? Like, really, what are y'all doing? Y'all could just put the man in jail if y'all want to try. Like, it seems like y'all really going after him. He gonna run again in 2024, I'm sure. So here's what to know. The thing about my boy DJT is he really consistent, bro. He really consistent. So right here it says after his Senate acquittal, a defiant Trump called his second impeachment by the House another phase of the greatest witch hunt in the history of our country and hinted at returning to national politics. Bruh, Biden got to be scared. Harris and them got to be scared too because he mishandled a pandemic. A lot of people happened to die on his watch, and it was still so close that y'all had to wait months to decide who officially won the election. From what I'm looking at, Biden got 81 million votes? No. I'm looking at that wrong. I'm tripping. So Biden got 51% of the votes. Yeah, 81 million. and Trump got 46% of the vote, 74 million. So you look at all of that, and it was still close. So it brought out a lot of people that rock with him. And the one thing I can say about Trump is the dude consistent, man. Like he don't change what he say. And I was talking to somebody earlier this week about that. Like Trump made it very clear early on that he don't fuck with black people. He made it very clear early on. I respect him for that. He over the top. Well, you're out in front with how you feel about it, so you're not manipulating people. The thing that I got a problem with is when you manipulate my people, bro. When you manipulate them, because a lot of black people are gullible. A lot of black people are gullible, and they really believe that this system that's put in place is put in place to benefit them or to help them. When this shit came up before you was even a thought, like you were considered property at that time. So yeah, they're gonna let you participate, but they don't really give a fuck about you. Politics and voting should be quid pro quo, which means something for something. I give you my vote, I get something in return. You're really teaching your people out here to just vote like just vote willy-nilly, just throw their vote away. Um, but anyway, let me go back to what I was talking about. I apologize. I'm kind of hopping around a little bit, but let me stop sharing my screen. Um, yeah, so do you remember how when the riots happened at the Capitol? When the riots happened at the Capitol, everybody was talking about um they was trying to compare it to what happened over the summer last year. They was trying to compare it to those protests that were peaceful. Of course, you got a few knuckleheads out there that kind of amp the shit up to get it going. There's people placed in riots anytime that black people are around to kind of incite it, to kind of get something going and make it seem like they're out there to do malicious and insidious stuff. So they got a reason to bring the police in when, if you know, like I know, you don't need a reason to bring police in when there's black people there. The reason why the Capitol was able to happen like that is because y'all see yourself in them people. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, man? What's up? Thank you for coming through here. Yeah, gay they vote away for nothing in return. But let me share my screen again. Do you remember everybody was talking about it January 6th? Like CNN was so concerned with black people. They were so concerned with black people. So the reason why I keep talking about Trump and I keep bringing up they can't impeach him because they see themselves in Trump. A lot of them they see themselves in him. They identify with him. So of course they're not gonna impeach him. But let me show y'all what I'm talking about here. So I did another live earlier last year talking about homegrown terrorism, white supremacy. So I don't know if y'all remember, but this lady Jenny Cud, Capitol riot suspect Jenny Cud gets permission to take a trip to Mexico. Federal judge rules. So that was today. Bruh, like you can't even argue with people. Like I don't even argue with people anymore about there being two Americas. Because there are two Americas. You have people that are considered true Americans. True Americans. True Americans are considered white people. White people see themselves as true Americans. So even when it comes to black people, descendants of slaves, built the country, but y'all don't want to really talk about that shit. That's why there is no true Black History Month. Yeah, y'all consider February to be Black History Month, but there is no true Black History Month because y'all don't want to be honest about the history of America. Because if you got to be honest about the history of America, you got to talk about the bullshit that y'all have allowed to be perpetuated against black people, descendants of slaves, over and over and over. And once you start talking about it, like, okay, so they built the country. So if they built the country, they didn't get anything for it. They were just released into chaos without any type of economic equity plan. Then if we start talking about the true American history, like no shit, start up to now, we'll have to have the discussion about reparations. And reparations is a non-starter for true Americans. When it comes to true Americans, they don't want to hear that shit. But let me get to this Jenny Cud lady. So Jenny Cud, she owns Jenny's Flowers in Midland, Texas. All of these people that went to the Capitol, bro, it kind of seemed like a lot of them from Texas. All of these CCK, like I said before, Capitol Cop Killers. So a Texas flower shop owner accused of participating in the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol was granted permission to take a trip to Mexico by a federal judge. Bruh, how in the fuck do you allow somebody to do this? Now, me personally, I ain't mad because if I paid for a trip to Mexico and I was involved in treason against the country, a federal offense, some shit where if a coup does not go like you plan in another country and you don't overthrow the government, you are then lined up and shot in your head. They will line you up and kill you. But because of the people that did this, identify with true Americans, the people that's sitting on the bench, the judges, they ain't gonna do nothing. It's kind of wild how you can explain the two Americas to people, and true Americans will still, and true Americans is white people. For anybody that's just came in and wondering, but you see that it's two Americas, bro. So I don't even have that discussion with people anymore. Like, if you want to have a discussion about race, if we can't get over the simple shit that everybody knows, then it's a non-starter for me. I don't even discuss it with people. But let me get to this. So, U.S. District Judge Trevor McFadden said in an order granting Jenny Cud's request to travel later this month that neither her pretrial services officer nor prosecutor opposed the request. How many times you done had somebody released because they're not in jail, but they let them know that they're taking their passport and they've been put on a no-fly list? So, bro, you were a part of treason against your country, but they letting you fly to Mexico. He also noted that she has no criminal history and said there was no evidence she was a flight risk or posed danger to others. Being involved in something that kills 5 people don't make you dangerous? It don't make you dangerous? Bro, like it's crazy, man. Like, we can't even sit here and have these discussions no more. We can't, because you identify with this lady. Like, if you're a true American, you identify with this lady. Hell yeah, you want to be able to run up in the Capitol. Hell yeah, you want to be able to not have any consequences for the fuck shit you do. Even if you kill a police officer, when you'll be the first to tell me Blue Lives Matter. That shit crazy. But let me give you another update on Jenna Ryan. Jenna Ryan of Texas. If you remember from a previous live, uh, Jenna Ryan was the realtor who said, "Oh my goodness, I don't think I'm gonna be able to use this." Now let me back out of this. Let me get back to it so I can get into my actual topic for the night. All right, so yeah, but what did it say? Ash said they gave her vote away. She said, "Hey to Ash, Ash how?" Yeah, it just is what it is. Ash, like, they don't really care the way they say they do, so I'm not gonna allow them to kind of pull you away from some shit like that. Like, they don't really care. But to get to the topic tonight, so should you support? Should you continue to support the political process? Now, what I want to talk about when it comes to politics in America, you remember all them different slogans they was doing, vote or die. I remember P. Diddy did it back in the day. He was like, vote or die, you know. Um, yeah. You said they focusing on only a few people. It's the truth. They only focusing on a few people. But when it comes to politics in America, you got black people who still believe that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is coming out here to save them. And you still believe they give a damn about you. The truth is they don't, bro. Like, Joe Biden been in politics for years. Been in politics for years. And exactly said you only get one vote. Exactly. Been in politics for years. And you think that he's an agent of change. He's gonna bring forth what you need. He's gonna bring forth something to help you. Like, yeah, they talking about stimulus checks and everything, but it really let me know that they just don't give a fuck, man. It really kind of hammered it down to me that they don't give a fuck. The reason why is because people being kicked out of their houses, people losing their jobs. You still talking about minimum wage, but minimum wage been $7.25 for 11 years. Can't nobody live off that, bro. So now you bringing in these little, and I won't say little because people need them. Lord knows if y'all give me one, I got something to do with it. I know exactly what I'm gonna do with it if I get a check. But it just shows you that y'all don't care. Y'all can't, because the country that you were elected to be a public servant of or in The people of that country are hurting. And whenever they need the money, you want to play politics with them. They clearly need the money. You want to play politics with people's lives, bro. And they just let me know that you don't care. Like he said, Jim Crow Joe. Yeah, yeah, Jim Crow Joe. Like for all we know, he was the one sitting back there trying to keep shit going. You don't know about him like that. I swear he got to be in his. He got to be like 1,000 years old. He got to be in his early thousands. Yeah, you said no, but it's breadcrumbs what they're giving us. It's a slap in the face. It truly is. And like I think about the system like I think about it like dad jokes. So dad jokes are historically bad, but when you're young and your dad tell you them little jokes, you laugh at them. But it's like the system that was set up here is like a dad joke. It's like, damn, okay, who built this joke? Who worked this joke out? Who decided that it was gonna go like this? Because one thing about dad jokes, you enjoy them when you're younger. You enjoy them when you're young. But as you get older, you're not entertained by it anymore because you're like, okay, dad, that was funny when I was 6. All right, now I'm 26. That shit don't ring off like it used to. It used to slap when you was telling me the joke when I was like 5 or 6 years old, but it doesn't anymore. It's you realize it's bullshit. And you don't want to be amused by that bullshit. It's not even entertaining to you anymore because it's really affecting you in your everyday life. And I struggled back in November about voting. I struggled. I went back and forth about it. But speaking of dad jokes, I got one for y'all. What do you call a deer with no eyes? I give y'all a second to respond. What do you call a deer with no eyes? I have no idea. I know. Dad joke. It slapped. It slapped. I know it was funny. It slapped. No, but you think about it and it's like, are y'all really paying attention? Are y'all really paying attention or do y'all just come out whenever y'all need votes every 4 years, every 2 years? Like, are y'all really paying attention to what the fuck is going on? And I think about it like that movie, The Help, Viola Davis. When it comes to politics in America, it's tide, it's oil, and it's wide. That's what I think about. Like white as far as hair color, old people, and white as far as skin color. That's what it's been. That's what it's always been. That's what it's always been in kind of politics. Like, how do you have it set up in a system to where people who are deciding how the world is going to be for the next 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and they're not going to be alive for the next 20, 30, 40 years? How do you have these people deciding? Like, I would think at some point, like, it would start to reflect the country. I said that movie was some BS. Yeah. But I do like Octavia Spencer character in there when she gave her one of them shit pies. I like Octavia Spencer's character in there. Um, but that's just what it is. It's old, it's tied, and it's white. And it's not expected to change. So then I started thinking about the system that we set up in and the situation that black people in America, bro. Like it really made me think about the Smith household. So I've been speaking about stuff that happened last year. So speaking of the Smith household, if you're paying attention, you know who I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the Brad Pitt movie, the Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie movie. Exactly, was tearing that pie up. She was fucking that pie up in the hill, and then she had a bump on her lip, like Kevin Hart said. She had a bump. Lip was all fucked up. But I was thinking about the Smith household, not Agent Smith from The Matrix, not Mr. and Mrs. Smith the movie, but the Smith household. I'm talking about Will and Jada. So the way I think about the people's relationship or black people in particular, I don't even remember, Ash. I don't remember I don't remember what it was. I don't remember if it was one or two or not. But the the way I think about it is we like Will Smith when he was sitting on Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett. When he was sitting there and she was talking about August Alsina, like I'm sure they don't even have August in their house no more. Like as far as a month, I'm pretty sure in the Smith household, they only recognize 11 months. In their house, July has to have 62 days because it's 31 days in August and it's 31 days in July. But because of what happened with, yeah, Johnson said, I don't really see the reason to support the process anymore. We always get told every election, well, you got to wait. They just got in the office. Give them time. Ain't that shit crazy? That's something very, very deep that you just said right there, baby. Like they always tell us to wait. But what are we waiting on? You know, like what are we really waiting on? So what I'm convinced is they waiting on us to die off, or they waiting on us to where we're not able to vote in a block and move the election forward anymore. That's what it gotta be. That's like the only thing I can think of. That it has to be. Like what else could it be? They have to be waiting on us to die. I mean, I don't understand. But the thing is, we seriously in an entanglement. We seriously in an entanglement with them. Like it's some real fucked up shit, bro. It's some real, real fucked up shit. And like you're not supposed to say nothing. And you say, I'm just like, damn. Well, how much longer we gotta wait? For real. Like how much longer do we have to wait? I think that's really what we're waiting on because if you see all of these laws and shit that they passing, it's always like they worry about every other race of people. Executive orders, they even passing laws for illegal immigrants, man. They passing laws for it. And I'm really conflicted. Like that shit really got me fucked up because I was thinking that maybe it'll be different this time. Maybe, I go out and support, maybe I go out and vote, it'll be different this time. It's the same old shit, bro. And it's because government is just put in place. Understand something. The court systems, government, the executive, the judicial, and the legislative branch, it's all put in place for one reason. It's put in place to keep shit the way it is. Yeah, we'll give you incremental changes, like very small, minute changes, baby steps. They always tell you baby steps, be patient. So we'll give you the incremental change, baby steps. But it should be quid pro quo. Dr. Claude Anderson was talking about that. He was talking about that. And he said that, and it was about Strom Thurmond. I would have to go play that. It's a Breakfast Club clip. I would have to go play that. And Joyce said, Joy, you're right. And they always putting people who haven't been through half the ish we've been through and continue to go through something first. But the reason why they do that, Ash, is because we'll support anybody. It's like we'll support anybody but black people. That's what it is. Like we'll support anybody but black people. As long as you're not black, we'll give you something. So that's why black people won't have anything because they don't ask for anything either. Like Dr. Claude Anderson was talking about that on the Breakfast Club. If you remember, if you know Strom Thurmond is a deep, deep racist, a real deep racist in South Carolina. He was a senator in South Carolina. So, and I could probably pull that up. I could probably pull that up versus just talking about it. But yeah, he was a senator in uh South Carolina. They still got highways and shit named after him right now. But the thing about Strom Thurmond is he came to Dr. Claude Anderson when he was in charge of what was he in charge of, but pretty much he was in charge of giving states government land and giving them property and equipment to use to be able to work land or do whatever, build whatever that you needed to build. And so he came to Dr. Claude Anderson and asked him if he could get some bulldozers and other stuff like that. Now, he said, okay, I'll give you that, but I need something from you. He said, sure, what? He said, I need you to appoint black judges. He's like, I need you to appoint black judges. And Strom Thurmond was like, no problem, I'll do that. And so, and I'm kind of jumping over a little bit, but the basis of it is what Dr. Claude Anderson said is your black elected officials aren't asking for anything. The reason why things aren't changing is because they aren't asking for anything. You ever realize why, and this is the older black people thing, you ever realize why black people will get into a certain position and they get up to a position where they can help other black people along, or they can make it to where it's easier for somebody that they know close to them? Now, I'm not saying give somebody a chance who will mess it up, but If you're in a position of power and you can put other people on, why won't you hire black people? Why won't you empower your own people? Why do you feel like once you get to a position, you good? Like you don't need to open the door for anybody else. You just slam the bitch right behind you. And you say, well, oh, everybody got to work hard and everybody else got to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Bruh, y'all keep talking about Donald Trump. And the reason why I say intentionally that DJT is my homeboy is because it fuck with a lot of black people. It bother a lot of black people that I say that. So that's why I continue to say that shit. If you seen the way he ran his presidency, it was about nepotism. Nepotism. Everybody close to him and his family, he put them on. His son-in-law, his daughter, his sons, everybody that he had close to him, he put them on. So why is it when black people get into a position of power, they feel like they shouldn't empower the people around them? Bro, that shit is weird to me, man. It's really, really weird, you know? And I just want black people to get to the point to where they're more sophisticated about their vote. Bro, you can be a Democrat, you can be a Republican, you can be neither if you want to. You can be neutral, you can be independent, you can be anything that you want to be. Stop supporting a party or a system that is literally set up to rock you into extinction. It's literally like black people are like babies, and the Democratic Party, anybody's like, yeah, you know, I love you, and they rocking you. And as they rocking you, you haven't realized that they slipped their hand up around your neck, and now they slowly squeezing the life out of you, bro. Because you can't tell me you're not squeezing the life out of somebody. Is for the longest you weren't allowing black people to have property. When people came, I think it was what was it World War II? Yeah, black people coming back from World War II. You're not giving them their GI benefits. You're allowing people to fight in wars, but you aren't giving them their VA benefits that they earn, their veterans benefits that they earn. So then on top of that, you ensure that people live in these ghettos where there aren't any jobs, there aren't any economic avenues out, there aren't any ways out. And so every time black people get so excited when there's an election because you believe that this system is gonna work for you in the end. So when Joycelyn and Ash was sitting here saying earlier that just keep trying, you know, one day it'll change, one day it'll change. Bruh, stop sending your kids into a burning building. And when they get into the burning building, you're just like, oh, well, I didn't, you know, I didn't think you was gonna die in that burning building. Bruh, you literally throwing your kids to the wolves because you're not sending them out there with any plan at all. And it's like the Jim Clyburns of the world, man. Like Jim Clyburn he saved Biden election hopes in South Carolina, man, last year because he was pretty much dead on arrival. Um, what Biden needs to do. Let me see if I can pull it up. Jim Clyburn was talking about what Biden needs to do in his first 100 hours. Let me see. Give me a second, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm trying to pull this up. Needs to do first 100 hours. I apologize. I'm just sitting there trying to pull this up. Yeah, you can't find it. It was a Breakfast Club interview. Um, no, but pretty much, man, he endorsed him, told him what he needed to do, told him what he supported, and he ain't done none of that shit. What they say? Ash said they need to cut the check. They ain't going to. It's a non-starter for white people. When you start talking about reparations and shit like that, it's a non-starter. Like they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it, so they don't want to talk about it. Yeah, because I don't know who he is. Yeah, because they sell us out. Yep, they only pick ones that hate themselves. Exactly. So two sides of the same coin. They keep selling black people hope. They do. Like, and that's another thing I want y'all to understand, bro. Like, stop falling in love with symbolism, man. Stop falling in love with that symbolism shit, man. Like, it ain't bringing you nothing. So the problem I have is with older black people. Like, older black people. Do you realize that you sold us a bill of goods? You then live to be 60 years old, 70 years old. You don't have shit. And you keep telling your kids to go to school, to just go to school, work hard, get you a good job. How they gonna do that? So you telling them to go rack up a whole lot of debt to get a good job. But if you don't have any resources available, you don't have the ability to hire them. How are you changing their life? So then you tell them to go vote. You tell them to go vote because voting gonna change their life. When if you're participating in this system, you're literally participating in your extinction. Because with the executive orders that Joe Biden has signed recently, he even signed executive orders for illegal immigrants, bro. Illegal immigrants. Now, you have a right to come to this country and better yourself. I understand that. But I hope black people pay attention to what they're trying to do. Like, okay, so think about America as a ladder. Black people are at the lowest rung of that ladder right now. That's how it's always been because it's it's wanted to it's they want to keep it that way. Like, think about this. It's like, well, we got to give y'all niggas rights. We got to let y'all niggas vote. We got to let y'all niggas eat at our restaurants. We got to let y'all niggas ride at the front of the bus. But we don't have to give you real change. See, why black people was screaming and scraping and scratching for social equality, you should have been going after an economic plan. You should have been going after economic equality because you wasn't allowed to buy houses. And one of the easiest ways to create generational wealth is a house. So you voting for people that are literally making it to where even if you have the money to buy a house, and this is back in the day, like I think back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, when they were getting this government money to build these houses in these subdivisions, they were writing into these contracts that when you get ready to sell or resell your home, you can't sell it to a black person. Even if I got money in my pocket, I can't buy a house. The shit is fucked up, bro. So older black people, when I, as a young black person or a younger black person, I have a question about stuff, don't just tell me to trust in the Lord or trust in this system or trust in the process. You got to vote. You got to vote. Vote or die. So instead of telling me that I've been voting for 40 years and the shit ain't got no better for me, hell, I can see because I'm growing up in it. I'm struggling right here with you. You baptizing me in the struggle. It's like, oh, baby popped out. Let me go and dip his ass down in this struggle real quick. And so I'm being indoctrinated into this struggle, and it's just made to seem like it's normal. When there is an abundance in the world, I say it a lot, bro, there's an abundance in the world. So when it comes to America and how America continues to treat their black people, it ain't got to be that way. It lets me know that it's strategic. The one thing that I'll give true Americans, white people, credit for is when they put some shit in place that'll last forever. You literally have to put black people back in bondage, back in slavery before they'll work together to make some shit better for themselves. You would rather die serving these masters, serving your master, than to actually deal with the issues that's in front of you. Or at least equip me with the tools that I need to navigate this system. You're not even telling me, bro. We got so many people that sitting here just trusting Biden and Kamala Harris. And it's sad to say I got duped too. I got duped too, bro. Because you start believing in shit, you get bamboozled, you get led astray, you get run amok, and you realize, bro, that the shit isn't changing because they don't want it to. It's literally set up like, hey, bro, I know you really need a livable wage, but I can't really do that wage for you right now. What I can do is I can send you them $1,400. Oh, you ain't got no checking account? Oh, your checking account overdrawn? Oh, you don't have a mailing address? What you mean you don't got a mailing address? You should have a mailing address. You live in America, you should have a mailing address. Well, the pandemic hit, I lost my job, I'm out on my ass. I don't have a mailing address. I don't got a bank account no more. So you talk about giving me $1,400, 12 months too late. What am I gonna do with that shit? What am I gonna do with it? Because I'm so far behind, I ain't got nowhere to put it. And for y'all that got kids, if you got kids, you're gonna come up. But the political process has never supported black people. So what I would like for older black people to do is just to be honest with your kids, man. Be honest. Tell them that you've been doing this forever and ain't shit changed. When has it gotten better? When is it getting better? That's a real question you got to ask yourself. Like, when is it going to get better? Or are you going to do something about it? Like, it's got to be quid pro quo. I'm pretty sure what they doing is they letting everybody else meet with the Biden administration. They letting everybody else meet with them. LGBT, Hispanics, hell, they even passing laws for Asian Americans. But black people always get left out. And when it comes to voting, you ever hear this shit like you'll look at the ballot or you'll see the people running, you'll be like, okay, well, who represents me? Who represents black people? And you'll have other black people tell you, oh, well, just vote for this person. Just make sure you don't vote Republican. It's still manipulative, bro. Like, you still manipulating me. You still playing with me. Because you just tell me to vote Democrat. Like, it's so hard to change a Southern Baptist mind. It's so hard to change a Southern Baptist. No, that's what it is. A Southern Democrat Baptist mind. It's so hard to change their mind, bro. They won't. Like, will literally do something in repetition for years and years and years just because. And you start looking around when you get up and you younger and you ask them, like, so why do you do this, mom? Why do you do this, dad? They can't even tell you why. But they'll just tell you when you vote, make sure you vote Democrat all the way down. But are we gonna have a real conversation about neither one of these motherfuckers give a fuck? So it's like they both the same. Excuse me. It's like they both the same. That's why they say left wing, right wing. They both on the same bird. You ever seen a bird try to fly with one wing? It won't happen. You ever see a plane try to take off with one wing? It won't happen. So little do you know they all in it together. They all in it together, keeping everything the same. They don't want any better for anybody else. They don't. So they come to these different corporations and they tell these different corporations, hey, I suggest that you increase your minimum wage. Hey, I suggest that you pay your employees hazardous pay. Coronavirus out here. They like, suggest all you want. We ain't doing shit. And another thing, like, you suggest when it comes to helping the people out, you suggest stuff. But when it comes to bailing out these corporations, you got money everywhere. You can find money any and everywhere. But you can't find money to support your people. But you want your people to support this process. And my main thing about getting on here tonight, I just want black people to be smarter, man. I want y'all to be smarter. Like, I don't know everything. I don't claim to. But when I do see black people being manipulated and I see them being played with, it shit bother me. It don't sit well with me. Because y'all care about black people when it comes to showing them symbolism or putting their name at the top of a bill, and y'all will say general terms like police reform or economic equality, but for who? Who are you speaking about economic equality for? It clearly ain't black people. Because when it came to anybody, they got reparations for the fucked up shit the American government did to them. Anybody else? Hell, y'all will bomb countries to death and then go and drop money on them. Y'all been, and not even on Black Wall Street when y'all bombed and destroyed Black Wall Street. God bless the dead to all those people that y'all killed. But you've been sitting here putting stuff in place and destroying and keeping the black community in the place that it's in for years, bro. Years, and you still feel like you don't owe black people shit. And when I say black people, I'm talking about descendants of slaves. You don't feel like you own shit. And that shit fucked up. Like, me personally, bro, I'm done. I'm not supporting me. Like, I didn't tell y'all last time what I did, but I'm not supporting the political process no more. For me, it's a wrap. I'm not supporting the political process. And people keep asking me and my wife when we're gonna have kids. We don't have kids yet, but I'm this way at 30. And maybe because I went different places due to the military and seeing how people living, like traveled around the country a little bit and kind of seeing how shit is and realize how fucked up it is. Once you start going to looking at the homeless population, exactly. baby. Exactly. So what you just said is true. At the end of the day, they got the same agenda. It's true. They have the same agenda. That's why they work so well. That's why they work so well. Democrats and Republicans, that's why they work so well. They make sure they keep everybody else down. They're okay with keeping black people at the lowest rung on the ladder. They'll give money to Hispanics. They'll give money to Italians. They'll give money to Native Americans. Like they'll give money to LGBT initiatives. Every initiative that you can put in front of black people, you will. They'll find some shit. They'll literally invent uh, a pandemic type situation. They'll invent a situation to where, oh, you got to make sure we do this first. Black people, we'll get to you. We'll get to you. Or they won't even talk about it. They'll put everything they can in front to stop dealing with the issue. And what it really is you owe descendants of slaves, bro. It just is what it is. So hopefully black people will stop, but you can't continue to support a system that is okay with your extinction. It's literally okay with it. It's like they treat black people like they the problem when they're not. Like they so in fear for their life when it comes to black people. They so scared of, oh, that 6 foot tall black man, this and that. Like the shit is crazy. But and that's why I gotta speak about white supremacy. Like it's a white supremacist system because it was set up by white supremacists. You don't gotta be white to be a white supremacist too. Like understand that. I'm not calling people racist. I'm not calling people racist no more because that shit don't benefit. Like they'll take it and they'll twist it and they'll say, oh well, anybody could be racist. Nah, bro. I'm not speaking about that. I'm speaking about white supremacy. And another issue that I have is you'll get black people who they've acquired a certain amount of things in life. They've gotten to a successful point in their life. So they say, I'm good. Nothing's wrong with your success, man. More power to you. Like I said, there's an abundance in the world. But when you make it, why not reach back and pull another young black person along with you? But you'll do that white supremacist type shit and you'll be like, nah, I'm cool. You're gonna have to pull yourself up by your bootstraps your own way. I'm not gonna help you. Like it's literally black people that sit here and say you're not gonna help them. But when somebody asks you, you'll say, oh, I do this, I do that. No, bro. You've made it to a certain place where you afforded a lavish life for your family, and nothing's wrong with that, man. Nothing's wrong with that. But reach back, help out people that look like you, help people that come where you come from. Why is it okay for everybody else to do that shit, but not you, bro? You think it's a problem with helping black people, but you'll mislead black people. You'll mislead the people in your household. And like I always say, bro, if you're not gonna help me, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. But you are in effect hurting me. You're risking my life. You put me at danger if you're not telling me what's going on outside the door. And Joyce saying the Democratic Party are to the point where they feel we are obligated to give them, yeah, to give our vote to them, even though they do nothing to deserve it, other than claim to be less racist than the alternative. That's big. That's big because you want to support somebody that comes out and gives you symbolism. When you look on the Republican side, they're about suppressing black people votes. They don't want black people to vote. They let you know through and through every election they don't support black people. Just as a general consensus, they don't support black people. And I respect them for that. Like, I respect them for that, but I really want black people to get to the point where they understand that, bro, no matter which way you go, this shit not for you. This shit not for you. It's not okay to be less racist than Donald Trump. You got Joe Biden out here saying wild shit like Trump is the only racist president. Really, Joe? Where the fuck you been, bro? But he know what he's saying. Joe Biden know what he's saying. He wants you to pay attention to say, oh, well, you're right. Trump is the most racist president, bro. You got presidents who literally own slaves. They literally owned enslaved black people. But Trump is the most racist. And they put everything on Trump like y'all ain't right there with him. Joe Biden, you Trump too, bro. I mean, you just is. You Trump too. You've been in politics longer, and you've done more shit to the detriment of black people than Trump ever has. I know Trump. Like I know where he stands on shit. I don't like people that like to muddy the water and try to go amongst people and say shit like, "Well, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black." Really, really, bro. But that's just how comfortable they is. They didn't got that comfortable now to where they can just say shit like that, and black people not gonna say nothing to them. But like I was saying earlier, everybody can get laws passed for them, but not black people. So now that they in there, they got control of the Senate, they got control of the House, they got control of the White House. There's no reason why they shouldn't be able to pass laws to benefit black people. But the thing about politics in America is everybody on code, bro. Everybody on the same page. Everybody on the same page. And if you call slipping, they're not gonna vote for you again. They on the same page. You imagine how shitty of a candidate Biden had to be for all of that stuff to go on last year, and you still the election was still closer than a lot of people thought it was gonna be. That lets people know that should let you know that people not confident in you. They're not confident in you or Kamala. Because one minute Kamala Harris is Asian American, the next minute she black. She went to HBCU. I even got okie doke, bro. I had to go look up a picture of her and her family. I had to go look up a picture of Kamala Harris and her family, bro. I looked at that picture. Ain't no black in anybody in that picture. All them people look like they straight from India. Or they ate like some type of South Pacific Asian. Everybody in her family. But that's on me. If you don't go look, you won't know. But I didn't know, bro. I really didn't. Even had me out here thinking that she was black. But, bro, you're not. But you will get okie doke. You'll get okie doke if you don't go look for yourself. So it's like we Will Smith sitting here looking at Jada say that she's just in an entanglement. We literally in an entanglement with a country that can't fucking stand us, bro. With a government that can't fucking stand us. And when I say us, I'm speaking about black people. Um, so if you're a black person, hell, even if you're not black, because what you don't understand is if America want to keep you poor, they're gonna keep you poor. They're not gonna do nothing to help you out of your situation. Nothing at all. It's ran like a corporation. America LLC. United States Incorporated, baby. It just is what it is. But like I always say, man, whether you're here for 5 seconds or 5 minutes, I appreciate it. I appreciate you showing the love. I appreciate you coming through. If you're watching from the future, thank you with your futuristic ass for watching on the playback. And like I always say, man, you could be anywhere in the world. It's Saturday. It's 8 o'clock on a Saturday, depending on where you at. You could be anywhere in the world, but you got your beautiful ass here with me, and I so much appreciate it. I really do. And I want to thank you for your support. But let me to get off of that for a little bit. Let me show a video on actually a couple videos on Instagram. Just to kind of lighten it up a little bit, kind of lighten up the mood in here a little bit. I'm a little bit more serious tonight. But audio good. Okay, audio good. All right. Let me go to this. So the bit in the video, it said eating a 500 milligram edible before dropping off the baby. Make sure the volume up. All right. And the comment right here said the baby needs to hurry up or y'all gonna be late. Like, bruh, man, you cannot be taking no edible and you trying to go drop your kid off. Nah, but that's a good page on Instagram, Hood Ratchet TV. I follow them. Like, man, that they funny. They always got some silly shit going on. But I got another clip I want to play for my homeboy True. Check this out and let me let me know what you think about this.
Give me this microphone. Just beat it. Michael Jackson don't deserve that. How can Marasaka? Give me this microphone. Just beat it. Michael Jackson don't deserve.
Bro, that's disrespectful, man. Bro, that's disrespectful. All right, I got one more. Then I'm gonna get back to my shit. I got one more.
I'm gonna tell her, Bud Light. Just say Bud Light. She's going, what the hell?
What's that mean?
Bitch, you don't like it. Go home then. I'm gonna tell her, Bud Light. Just say Bud Light. She's going, what the hell?
What's that mean?
Bitch, you don't like it. Go home then.
All right, so let me get back to my video. No, Jordan puts a laughing face. Bro, like, why is you singing like that? Like, why is you tearing down that man's song like that? Lady, like, you know you can't sing. You know you can't sing. So why is you fucking up that man's song like that? Talking about, beat it, beat it. Bro, if you don't get the hell off the microphone and just tearing that man's song down. Bro, also another thing that happened this week, man. Like, bro, that clip where that lady had got, bro, where that lady was getting spit on, man. Like, bro, I don't understand. And like, these are primary caregivers that take care of these people. But this is a clip earlier this week, man, and that shit is troubling, bro. Like, this is troubling. This is really troubling. And it's from Teddy Riley's page. And bro, you really gotta see this shit because it's triggering, man. And I shouldn't play it, but like this takes some patience. This is like Martin Luther King Jr., God bless the dead, protesting, marching over Selma Bridge type patience, over Pettis Bridge, like that type of patience. Like, bruh, I'm gonna just play it for y'all.
Yo, I want you guys to watch this. Ooh, she spit on her once. White lady spit on her caretaker. She spit on her twice. Spit on this woman twice.
You know, people know what they doing. Like, you know, you're doing something fucked up. Like when the lady spit on her, and then she backed up because she was kind of expecting her to retaliate. Like, she backed up because she knew she was wrong. Like, if you don't think you're wrong, you're gonna stand there. But she spit on her and then hurry up and move.
And she just brushed it off. She's cleaning up, minding her business. Oh, she spit on her again.
And if you pay attention, she was chewing that apple. So she chewed up some food and then she spit food on you. As if she wasn't disrespectful enough early.
Yo. Oh, motherfucker. Yo, this woman took that shit. She took that shit. Let me tell you something about this shit right here, yo. This old woman who looked like a fucking balled up piece of homework. Can you believe that? When you spit on someone, that's dehumanizing. You can smack a motherfucker or whatever, but when you spit on somebody, that is fucking dehumanizing. This shit right here. See, I'd have thrown the bitch out the fucking window, man. I don't give a fuck how old she is. Bullshit. This is bullshit. That's somebody's mother. That's someone's sister. That's somebody's auntie. This is what it is. These black caretakers, I don't know if everybody goes through this, But these black caretakers taking care of these old white motherfuckers, racist motherfuckers, because she's from that era. That white woman is from that era. She's probably from 1930, where she was used to spitting on black people. See that? She called them niggers, segregated. She's from that. That's the era that is, they're the fucking kings and queens of this shit. You know what I mean? But I hope that this woman here is recording that. I think she's recording it. I think she's recording it like to get proof, because she probably reported it and they were like, oh, you're crazy. No, she's a sweetheart. Betty's a sweetheart. And she goes, I'm telling you, she keeps on spitting on me. You're not understanding me. You're not listening to me, you know, because fuck, man. Spitting on, you know what I would have fucking done? This is what I would have done. Let me show you what I would have done. I would have wound up all the snot in my nose. I'd have been, oh yeah, bitch, you want to spit on somebody? No. Hold on. Other nostril. And she would have been sitting there like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I didn't mean it. Oh, bitch, shut the fuck up. Ah! Fucking hoe.
All right, man. Bruh, like, spitting is a little bit too far. The way I personally feel about spitting and shit like that, like, if somebody spit on you, bruh, me personally, let me see. Oh, no, Ash said, sorry, my mama called. No, you good. But me personally, the way I feel is if somebody spit on you, you got the right to kill them. You got the right to kill them. Like, if somebody spit on you, they need to be prepared to kill or die. Because, bro, you can't spit on me. Like, I don't know if y'all remember Flavor of Love back in the day, but Flavor of Love back in the day when Pumpkin spit on New York on live television, bro. Live television. Pumpkin wound up and spit on New York. And, bruh, I said on national television, bruh, I said, no, you got to take her head off, bro. You got to take her head off. Like, yeah, man. Like I said, that old ass lady would have been knocked out. She walked away. Yeah, she walked away. She let her walk away. Like, what the fuck? But it was another clip that Joyson had sent me. And I think it was from the Shade Room. Baby just sent it back to me. Yes, indeed. You know I'm finna play that. Hell yeah, I'm about to play that. Baby, you know I'm about to play that shit. Baby, I see what you sent me. You already know I'm about to play that. You already know. I got you. Hell yeah. A little dusty, crusty ass, bro. All right, so this is something off of Tea in the Shade. Tea in the Shade is also a really good. It's also a really funny YouTube. I can't even talk right. Not really funny YouTube. It's also a really funny Instagram. So I'm gonna play this a few times so you can get it. But bruh, funny. But let me stop with the build up. If you recognize, it's that old lady in the background. It's that old lady that was spitting. So. One more time. Bruh. They say time of death 11:40 p.m. Y'all going to hell, man. Please, ain't nobody worrying about that shit, bro. Like, don't be spitting on people, man. Like, that's an entirely too high level of disrespect. Like, you're asking too much of me as a human. Like, you ever realize why people ask other folks to be? They ask you to be more than human. Like, how you gonna be mad at me for my reaction to the action that caused the reaction? You ever heard of cause and effect, bro? Like, you are asking. Now, let me stop sharing my screen. You're asking too much of me as a human being if you expect me not to do nothing when somebody spit on me. This your old ass, hateful ass, mother of racism ass grandmother. Or in her case, the grandmother of racism. Her old ass. You expecting me to not do nothing when she spit on me 3 times? And the third time she chewed up an apple, she chewed up an apple and spit on her. So you like, wait, this nigga about to get this spit. And then, like, bruh, Ash say, I hate y'all. She like, wait, who? Joycelyn with the laughing, crying emojis. Yeah, the way the wig came off, like, for real, bruh. Wait, play it again. Yeah, bruh. Like, come on, man. You're asking too much of me. You're asking too much. I can't, like, I don't have that type of might in me. That's why I say I got a respect for everybody that was following, God bless the dead, the people that was following Martin Luther King Jr. because y'all are walking lock and step. They sicking dogs on y'all. They spraying y'all water hoses. Little white girl spitting on you. That movie they did, King in the Wilderness. That was a white girl that came up and spit on Martin Luther King Jr. And Martin Luther King Jr. told her she too pretty to be out here doing that. Bruh, like, you asking too much of me if you expect for me not to react. It's only human for me to react like somebody just spit on me, bro. Anyways, but so let me get back to what I was speaking about. Like, when it comes to supporting the political process, I think about that Tupac song, bro. I'm like, it's just the way it is. That's how they treat it. It's like it's just the way it is. Like, things will what is it? Things will never change. And that's how it's looked at because the Democrats know that black people gonna vote for them anyway. The Republicans know that black people not gonna vote for them in a heavy number, so they try to suppress black votes. When at the end of the day, no matter who gets in there, business is gonna continue as usual. It's gonna continue as usual. Like they say on Game of Thrones, chaos is a ladder, and when it comes to that ladder, black people are always gonna be at the bottom rung because you can't release slaves. You can't release enslaved black people, not give them any type of economic equity plan, not give them any type of jobs, anything to do, teach them how to read and write, anything, and expect them to be successful. And a lot of that same fuck shit is still going on today. Like, there hasn't been any economic equity plan. No package like that. Black people was wanting social equity. You wanting to pretty much, okay, check this. So you hungry. You pull up, you pull up in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru. You're like, hey, Chick-fil-A always nice. They always hospitable to me. They always show me so much love. I'm gonna get a little Chick-fil-A, number one or number two, I think. Whatever the spicy chicken sandwich is, I'm gonna get that. So you get there, they very nice to you. They're like, how can we serve you? You put your order in, you get around the corner, they see that you black, and they tell you, we can't serve you. I'm not going to give you your food. You haven't paid for anything, but they just let you know we're not going to serve you. So what are you going to do? You're going to throw a temper tantrum because these people don't want to accept your money, or you're going to move your ass on? Any rational person will move their ass on. So one of the mistakes that they made during the civil rights era, and I wasn't alive. Understand that. But one of the mistakes that you made is black people had their own businesses. Black people got their own communities. Black people got their own restaurants. Black people got their own doctors. Black people have their own all of this stuff. But the reason is because white establishments in certain places, they don't want you there. They don't want your money. They don't want you to patronize their business. They don't want you to be a patron there. They do not want to serve you. They literally have restaurants where if you go in there and you sit your black ass down, they're going to call the police on you. Because everybody in that community know you better not serve niggas here. You just better not serve black people here. That's the rule. You better not serve them here, or we will burn your establishment to the ground. See, white supremacy and racism doesn't only affect black people, it also affected white people. Like, you might have been like, shit, I ain't got no problem with niggas. Shit, I love niggas. Shit, I got this girl I'm fucking down the road. Like, it even affected you because you miss out on money because you aren't able to get as much money out of the community as possible. You just aren't. So think about the bus boycotts. That's why the bus boycotts were so effective. But Think about it, because white people got jobs. White people not using the bus. White people got the brand new steam engine Model T. They got the brand new vehicle. They have money. They have these vehicles. They have these cars. They have ways to get to work. They don't need to use public transit. So you know how stupid you got to be and how bad you got to fuck your money up to pretty much say that you don't want to serve your number one customer, telling your number one customer to get to the back of the bus, all of that type of shit. Like, you don't value the people that are keeping the wheels on the bus going round and round, round and round, round and round. So you don't value those people because you don't like those people. So money is green at the end of the day. If you got a potential to make some money, why not make it? No matter who the money is coming from, money is money. So that's just how hateful you is. That's just how hateful you was, that you won't allow these people to patronize your buses and your businesses. But the thing that black people messed up back then, and they still mess it up even today, is let a white person tell you that you can't go somewhere and you can't give them your money to support their business, because that's what you in effect doing. If you shopping at a business, you are in effect supporting that business. You have chosen to give your hard-earned money to that company or that corporation, whatever. So you mean to tell me I gotta force you to take my money? The fuck? So black people was doing sit-ins and sitting at these counters and stuff like that because they wanted to be able to force these people to take their money. You know how weird that shit is? Hey, how you doing, country mama? Welcome, welcome. Oh yeah, and like I always say, whether you've been here for 5 seconds or 5 minutes, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Make sure you show me a little bit of love, whatever you're watching on Facebook, YouTube. You know, give me a like if you feel you should, because I appreciate you for being here. Because it's Saturday, you can be anywhere in the world, but you got your beautiful ass here with me, and I so much appreciate it. But to get back to my point, like, and it still happens today. You'll still go to places and they don't want to serve you. They don't want to support you. But it's like some real Stockholm syndrome type shit. Like, black people will still support a system and a business and people who don't care to spit on them if they were on fire. They don't care to spit on them if you were on fire. So the reason why I always say my boy DJT is because there's a little bit of Trump in all of y'all. There's a little bit of Trump in all of y'all, whether you want to admit it or not. Joyce said, "Hey, country mom," whether you want to admit it or not. So, he believes in nepotism. He supports his family. He supports people who support him. So, why do you, as a black person, feel that you shouldn't support people that support you? Why is that? You want to go everywhere else and spend your money where it's not wanted. You want to go everywhere else and support where it's not needed, where they didn't ask you to come there. Country clubs, golf courses, places like that. Like, there's still places where they aren't integrated like that. Like, the minute you move into a neighborhood as a black person, the neighborhood is immediately went to hell. The price value has went down. That's why other communities get more funding. Other schools get more funding because there aren't black people in those communities. There aren't black people that go to those schools. You ever wonder why your schools are shitty? You ever wonder why your vote don't get you anything? It's all strategic. It's all planned and put in place for a reason. That's why I tell you, I give white supremacists, I give them credit for what they've done and no more. Like, I'm not somebody who's gonna go over the top and say the reason why I don't have $5 in my checking account is because of white people. You're tripping. The reason why I can't go spend money here is because of white people. First off, you're tripping. It's a lot of people that was too busy chasing integration without chasing an economic equity plan. Like, you can't do right by people by saying, yeah, come on in, man. We know y'all love chicken. We're going to let you shop at KFC. We're going to let you shop at churches. We're going to let you spend money at Popeyes. We're going to let you spend money at all our businesses. You can't say we're good. Y'all are now released. Y'all are no longer enslaved to black people. The shit don't work like that, bro. You didn't allow me to vote when y'all were deciding what y'all gonna do in my life. So now you want to allow me to vote and you still decide what I'm gonna do in my life. Like, in effect, where is that great change that people keep talking about? Don't confuse progression with change. Don't confuse symbolism with change. It's not the same thing, bro. We asking you to pass laws so the cops stop whipping our ass. We ask you to pass laws so I don't got to raise a kid in this country and wonder if my kid gonna make it home. You ever wonder why when you get with a group of black people, before y'all go out at night, you say, hey man, make sure you don't do this because we don't want people to perceive us as a threat. Make sure you don't talk loud. Make sure you don't cut the music up because they might confuse a cigarette for some weed. Like, we always have to educate our kids on how to move in this world, how to move in this country. Like, we always have to do that. The conversations that we have to have with our kids is not the same conversation the white people are having with their kids because the system works for them. When the cops see them, they recognize they self in them. When the local city councilman sees a white person, he sees their self in them. So until they start seeing black people as actual people and in the system with them, or until they start seeing black people as human, black people shouldn't support any of that shit that they put in place. And that goes with the political process. I'm not supporting that shit no more. And y'all better be lucky I don't have kids. When I do have kids, I'm gonna have some little militant motherfuckers. And you might call them militant or you might call them a problem, but they're not a problem if I'm educating them on the threats that's outside their doors. I'm not trying to lead them astray. I'm not trying to bamboozle them. I'm not trying to pass some shit to them that was given to them by white supremacists. You realize why I don't support the system? Let me tell you why I really don't support the system. Because you can't expect people that put a system in place to be the same people that change that system. You realize that? Like, you really voting expecting the motherfuckers that put some shit in place to be the ones that change that shit. So let me know when you want to tear that constitution up that don't mean shit. Let me know when you want to rip that shit up and rewrite it all the way over again. Because your founding fathers was on that bullshit. They just was, whether you want to admit it or not. You can't say broad and ambiguous terms like debts and then debtors, or you wouldn't say black people are slaves. And if you go read it, you'll see like they found ambiguous terms to say, but they didn't want to say black people because if you say black people, you eventually have to go back and correct that. So they wrote it so they could find a way to keep black people in the fucked up place that they in, while also continuing to benefit off of slavery. Because you can't have free people if you have enslaved people. You can't make documents saying that you have right to the pursuit of happiness, every blah, 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 this and that. Like, whatever you wrote in there is bullshit. It is. Slave masters got reparations. People, and so understand why January 6th happened and why they aren't trying to lock up the Jenna Ryans, why they letting old girl take a trip to Mexico even though she was in the Capitol, treason, trespass, and a Capitol cop killer, because they've done this before. They've rushed capitals before. They've attacked their own government before. You ever heard of the Civil War? Like, white people have fought against their country and rushed sheriff stations, and they've rushed courthouses before. This is nothing new. Whenever they see that they're losing their grip on white supremacy, whenever they feel like they got to give a little bit up, and thank you, country mama. Country mama say, preach. I will continue. I say, yes, like, whenever they realizing that they got to give a little bit up, they go buy guns, they buy ammunition like never before. And so January 6th was allowed to happen because while you turning looking at black people, you like, hey, nigga, I see your ass. Nigga, I watch you. So you have your head turned and your entire body turned, focusing on me. You focusing on black people when the real threat is homegrown terrorism from true Americans. And when I say true Americans, I mean white people. So why you turning this way, focusing on me, what you don't realize is going on behind your back is people that look like you are rushing your capital. People that look like you are driving vehicles in the crowds of white people, killing white women. God bless the dead. God bless the dead. So why you worried about me, the tiki torch carrying motherfuckers that keep on saying they want to go back to the good old days? We know what the good old days is. We know what the good old days is. It's when you was coming my way, I would duck out the way, or I would put my head down, or I would act scared of you. But You have a generation of black people right now that's not tolerating that fuck shit. Now, I don't have an issue with all white people. Let me be clear on that. But I do have an issue with anybody that wants to uphold the teachings of white supremacy. So, no, the topic today. Appreciate you for coming through, Jay. The topic today is should you continue to support the political process? That's the topic for tonight. Should you continue to support the political process? But thank you for coming through, bro. I appreciate that. But so you worried about me? I'm the threat. I'm the super predator. I'm everything bad that your parents told you about. So that's why when I'm enjoying myself, relaxing, and you get frustrated, the first thing that come out your mouth is nigga, nigga, nigga. Like that's the first thing that come out your mouth. So you start using all type of racial slurs to deal with me when I ain't never did that shit to you. That's why that's your first response, because you was taught that. You was raised to be scared of me. You was raised to be scared of black people because somewhere in your mind, your grandparents or your parents who know the history of the fucked up shit that people that look like them done to black people, they pass that fear and that hate on to you. What he said, we should not be supporting anything the government have going on. It's true. It's a real conversation. And I'm gonna have to bring my boy Duffy on here from the military. Like Duffy be putting me on a lot of shit, and I appreciate him for it. But the way the whole country is set up, man, the way the world is set up, really, like they have it set up to where they're gonna always take care of the people at the top. They're gonna always take care of the people at the top, the 1%. But when it come to you, they don't give a fuck. That's why the banks will get a bailout when they fuck up. And this is for every American. Like, bro, if you're a working class American and you don't get even shit like tax brackets. I like that, Jay. I like that. You said I believe the world government is being manipulated worldwide. It is. Like there's a day that controls what everybody else learns, what everybody else does in school, like all of that. So I don't have a problem with Black History Month as a Black person, but I do have a problem that the contributions that Black people have made to this country are being squeezed into 28 days, one time a year. That's where they squeezing it at. So I don't appreciate it because what it symbolizes is, you ain't really done enough. What you've done, we're gonna just confine it to these 28 days, and that's all we're gonna talk about. And they had, I forget what that was, but they actually had parents that were signing up to where they would stop teaching Black history in that school. So my camera just went black screen. Interesting. Can y'all see me? Did my camera just go black, or is it still good? Let me remove this. Maybe let me stop this. Maybe that's what it is. Is it still black or am I good? But no, to continue what I was talking about, but no, like maybe that might be on your end, Jay. But don't get me wrong, bro. I don't have a problem with you telling your kids to support something, but tell them why they should support the system and what it is giving you. Don't tell me the system has given you the first Black president. Country Mama just said it. Country Mama just said it, and it's real. She said, I don't need a month. Fix the history books. That's it. But you can't expect them to because they teaching you wrong. They teaching you wrong anyway. They teaching you history the way they want you to hear it. And you can't expect a motherfucker that when you got over here, they stripped your name. That's why other people can go back and trace their family tree. They can trace where they come from. You come from Italy, you come from Great Britain, wherever you come from, everybody else can trace their history back. But enslaved Americans that are here, that were born here, they can't trace their roots. They can't. They can go back till probably when they first got here, it was in Virginia. It was in Virginia when the first slave ship arrived here. That's where they can probably trace their roots to. No further than that. And they can trace what family purchased their family member, their relative. They can trace it there, but other than that, that's it. And it's really kind of messed up, man. It's messed up because Black people ain't asked you to be here, bro. Black people ain't asked you to be here, but Black people are here. They are here because of you. They built the country and they weren't paid for it, bro. Like, okay, she said it's good. And they said, no, you good. They said I exited and reloaded. Cool. Appreciate you, Jay. Appreciate all y'all. Yeah, yeah. You say it's good now. Justin said I can see you. What it said. I said, yeah, like Countryman said, fix the book. And Jay said, I agree on this completely, but it's not even Black history that's wrong. They don't tell you America only joined the last World War for the last war because it didn't affect the U.S. government until the last year of the war against Hitler. Interesting. I didn't know that. He said into the last war against Hitler. Interesting. But that's also another thing. Like when it comes to history, y'all be purposely teaching people wrong. You purposely mislead people with these textbooks because I say the 1%, they don't want people to know what's really going on. Like, why wouldn't you teach people if this system is really going to thrive? Why wouldn't you teach people about the shit that they need to know? Like, why wouldn't you teach them that? You literally just got people going through this system and you're teaching them to be workers. You're teaching them to go to a job where they're not going to make enough to support their family. You're teaching them to be stressed out and worship this money, this God that's money. You're teaching them to worship money in this capitalistic society, but at the same time, you're making it harder and harder for people to make a living. And then when a pandemic hit, all of it smacks up against each other. All of it because you've been barely hanging on for the longest. You keep praying and you keep voting that Donald Trump gonna save you, Mitch McConnell gonna save you, Joe Biden gonna save you, Nancy Pelosi gonna save you, Kamala Harris, and again and again and again and again, bro. It's a repetitive cycle. But understand, bro, just because you got it good in this system, don't mean everybody has it good. It just is what it is. Like, and if you didn't got to a point of success in your life, and you thinking that you don't got to reach back to help nobody else, it's fucked up, man. See, and Country Mama said, I've only made it to 1865 so far. I now have to go to the Annapolis archives, and you can do that. You can do that in your local city or wherever your family's from. You could do that. You can go to the archives at the library. You can do that to pull up information about yourself, but it's just so much of a struggle for Black people to do that. Just the simple stuff like that. It's like you want to erase every other history, but what they don't tell you is while people are voting to try to get rid of Black History Month because nobody else has one, that's a lie. Look it up. Look it up. From February to November, they have different heritage months where they represent and they celebrate the heritage of all these different races of people. Just look it up. And you can find it. But we focusing so much on black, 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 black. And it's like a government thing. It's like they tell me the reason why the country is divided is because of me. The reason why America can never truly come together is because of me. I'm the problem. I'm always the problem. I'm always the problem. And people that look like me are always the problem. When you've been fucking over people that look like me for the longest. And I would say, excuse my language, but I'm not because I'm passionate about this. And so stop manipulating the young Black people. Stop manipulating Black people as a whole and just expecting them to go into the system. Like I remember that when I was younger, P. Diddy had the slogan, and he was on that's how old you know it is. You remember 106 in Park with Free and AJ? Y'all remember 106 in Park? And on there, they were talking about vote or die. That was P. Diddy's thing. It was vote or die. And I'm like, nah, just because you vote don't mean you're gonna die. Or just, if you don't vote, don't mean you're gonna die. What was that? It was vote or die P. Diddy back in the day. And South Park was making fun of it. But no. Like look at this. This is back in the day, man. Like that shit is sad. Uh yeah, I think this was actually him. Like this is 11 years ago. This was actually him on I think it was BET, man. No, bro. That's not what I was looking for. My bad, y'all. But no, he was really walking around with that. Yeah. And LeBron did the shit too. Like vote or die. It's like you gonna run up on me and kill me? If I don't vote, but let me play this, man. Let me play this. It's off of South Park, of course. Yeah, hold on. Let me see. Give me a second, y'all. I apologize. But no, it's just like the fear mongering that they do. And politics, have you realized about how they turn politics in America to like it's like Chiefs versus it's like Chiefs versus Buccaneers. They've turned it into a game, you know? It's like, well, I'm a West Side Republican, or I'm a North Side Democrat. Like they've literally turned it into like sports because you don't get anything, from it. Like, okay, check this. So whether you vote or don't vote, do you have a turnout on who is actually president? Do you really have a turnout on it? Like, I think they already know who's going to be president. Like, I had one of my homeboys tell me he was overseas and they had him go in to vote. They had him go in a little tent to vote. Everything was already set up. So, do you realize as he was going to vote, they already had announced the president on the TV. So I go into the voting booth to vote, or the voting center, and I look up on the TV and they already have on there who the president is. So why am I voting? They say they count soldiers' votes overseas, but do you really? Do you really count them? Because if I haven't voted yet, how are you already deciding who the president? How do you already have the celebration up on the TV for who the next president is? How is that possible? My vote literally hasn't been tallied because I haven't voted yet. But you say every vote is counted. Bullshit. There wouldn't be a need for the electoral college. Why do we still have an electoral college in 2021? You mean to tell me I can't vote from my cell phone? I can't do none of this shit for my cell phone. I still got to go in this booth. I still got to do all of this shit the old way. I still got to do all this the old way. Like, I ain't saying I'm a conspiracy theorist with that, but I look at it with everything else. Like, why is haven't there been a better way to do this? And why aren't y'all just counting every vote? What the fuck is an electoral college for? And why do some states have more people, more electorate votes than other states? Everybody should have the same one if you ask me. But then again, I don't know. But that's why I told you I'm not supporting that shit no more. I'm not supporting that process no more. I can't play that. I can't play that. I can't play that South Park video, y'all. I can't play that shit. But no, let me see. Oh, hey, Toys by Starlight. Hey, Toys by Starlight. Let me see. He said, my family is apparently from the same plantations as Harriet Tubman. Oh, damn. God bless her dead. God bless her dead. Okay. Uh, he said, Ash Bash, I'm here. Laugh out loud. He said, they are selected, not elected. That's true. She said they are selected, not elected. Say, hey, Toys by Starlight. Yep. Shout out to you. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you so much for coming through. Really do appreciate it. But no, like just to jump into that more. Yeah, like a lot of the shit still kind of bugs me. Like it still kind of worries me with that. Like, how is it that this same system hasn't been updated at all? Like, how are we still doing this? And how is it that my homeboy was going in to vote? Like, really, how am I going in to vote? But not projected. They're already doing the celebration for who the president is as I'm going in the booth to vote. Now that could have been a mistake by my commanding officer. It could have been a mistake. We were supposed to vote earlier, but he tried to get us in here to vote beforehand so we can see. Because a lot of things they do in the military, they want to say they at least afforded you the opportunity. It's like you don't have to do something, but we afforded you the opportunity. It's like when I was in boot camp, like you got a hour of free time. You got an hour of free time. Now you can do whatever you want to for that hour of free time, but we've still afforded you the opportunity to have an hour of free time where we're not yelling at you, we're not doing all this other stuff. We're not in your face, like all of that. So you have to have an hour of free time. And I think some of it is just repetition. It's just formalities. Like they just get into, and that's why I spoke about it earlier. It's so hard to change a Southern Baptist Democrat's mind. Like an old Southern Baptist Democrat, they will not change their mind. That's why I say politics in America is old, it's tired, and it's wide. because it is. And when I say white, understand what I mean. I mean white as in skin color and white as in hair color. It's a lot of people with, it's a lot of really old people that are making decisions about the rest of the world. It's a lot of people that's making decisions about the rest of the world that won't be here. Like, how are you making decisions and for 20, 40 years that's going to affect the world for the next 20 to 40 years, and you're not going to be here for the next 20 to 40 years? I would expect politics to get younger, not older. But it just does. They got lifelong appointments, man. If don't nobody run against them, it's going to be that way. And country mama say, no, they don't count. It's money and power. It's a money and power move. If we keep showing up and out, they have to acknowledge us eventually. I understand that. But at the same time, the real problem is, and I'm gonna have to find that video. The real problem is that our black elected officials, and I say our because 9 times out of 10, you're gonna vote for somebody if they black more likely than you'll vote for the white person, even if you don't know anything about them. And if they happen to be a Democrat, you're gonna vote for them. So the people that we're electing, when they get up there, they're not asking for nothing. They're not asking for nothing for black people. But when it comes to everybody else, they ask. Hispanic representation, they ask for stuff from the government. LGBT, they ask for stuff. Asian Americans, they ask for stuff. Native Americans, we know they ask for stuff. Look at the results. So, and I think black people just get too happy to be in the room. I think we get too happy to be in the room with other people. Like, I think we don't feel like we deserve to be there sometimes, or you don't want to rock the boat. When other people don't give a damn about rocking the boat, hell, rock that bitch till it capsizes. Like, why is it that you'll get somewhere and you so happy to have your job or your position, you don't ask for more. You just accept whatever they give you. And that's top to bottom. I wish I could find that, man. It's like it's top to bottom. First 100 hours. I apologize, y'all. I'm trying to find something because it was a Jim Clyburn thing that I was trying to find. I remember hearing it. It was on the Breakfast Club, man. It was on the Breakfast Club, and he talked about it briefly. But it's the blinding love and support and dedication to support these people, and they don't give a fuck about you, bro. Like, I don't understand it. Like, black people have been over backwards to support a system that is slowly killing them. Like, they're rocking you and they're pacifying you, but as I said earlier, as they're rocking you, you haven't even realized that they're slowly choking you. They're slowly squeezing the life out of you, and they don't care if you die. They really don't. Like, they don't care if you die. Hell, leave out of the house right now, I could probably get killed by a police officer. Like, and there's no repercussions for it. There's none. And you remember we were talking about, and God bless the dead. Y'all remember when George Floyd passed away? That seems like it's been like 20 years ago. It seems like it's been 20 years ago. They were talking about a George Floyd policing bill, a policing act. Where is that bill? Where is that bill? Like, it's like they're not even working on getting it passed. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up. Jim Clyburn, Breakfast Club. I can probably pull it up. But no, like, and it makes you wonder, like, what's being done, what's gonna be done. Does anybody care? I apologize, y'all. I'm trying to look up something and talk to y'all at the same time. And I should already have that on here. I like what Toys by Starlight said. She said, no, let me go back up. She said, I agree. It's old and YT. I don't know what YT means. Oh no, patriarch. I got you. Okay, sorry for the misspelling. She said, somebody explain to me why Joe Biden and Trump were our choices. It's a system that's set up that way. It is. It's just set up that way. Not to be funny, but honestly, our president shouldn't be 65 or older. And these senators, they be Not that only some black folks. There only be some black folks. Oh, okay, I got you. That's why I want to know. Yeah, Justin said that's what she want to know, and he said it baffled her. He said nope. And Country Mama said, if we still can't access the JFK files, then how do we ever expect to really know anything? I don't know, Country Mama. That's why if they ever invent a time machine or I'm able to travel back in time, I would like to go back and see some of this shit that actually happened so I can confirm it for myself or not. So I can confirm it for myself because if you're listening to these folks, they could tell you anything. And they will. They will just tell you anything. Let me see if I can pull this up. And it's like they just don't care to tell you the truth. Let me see if I can go play this. Man, I'm trying to pull up a video. It was something about Jim Clyburn when he was on the Breakfast Club. And it's a real small clip, but it's really telling with everything that kind of goes on with black people, like with black politicians specifically, because black people and black politicians should be caring about the benefit of black people and how they are treated. But it seems like they don't really care. They don't really care, bro. He was saying something about what Joe Biden should do in his first 100 hours. That was what he was saying. And Joe Biden got in there, and in his first 100 hours, did he do any of that stuff that you talked about, Mr. Clyburn? And when he didn't do any of it, did you say anything to him? No, you didn't say anything to him, bro. Like you literally said what he should do, but when he didn't do it, there was not even anything you said to him about it. Like you just let it slide. And you endorsed him. If it wasn't for Jim Clyburn in South Carolina, Joe Biden would not be president right now. He wouldn't be president because he was endorsed by him. And I'm still trying to find that, y'all. I apologize. Like, and we get hung up on terms about defund the police and other stuff like that. But when you should be reallocating funds, like reallocate funds, there shouldn't be no overinflated police budgets. It shouldn't be. Like, how is it that we get to this point and they're making like, or they have $100 million, $1 billion police budgets in New York, California, places like that? They got the craziest. They got really crazy police budgets, and it shouldn't be that way. Let me see if I can go pull this up. I'm trying to find that, y'all. I do apologize. Um, and that is way back there when they were talking to Clyburn. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. They even pulled up Kamala Harris being back at the damn Breakfast Club, man. And understand, like I don't have a problem with this. I just want black people to stop blindly following stuff that don't support them. Ah, okay, okay. This is what it is. This is what it is right here. Check this. So, so check this. All right, check this. So I'm back to y'all now. Let me get back to y'all. Let me see the comments real quick before I share the screen. Okay, what y'all got? What y'all got? What y'all got? What country mama say? It's exhausting at this point. It is. It really is. It really is exhausting. But let me play this for y'all. And this is Jim. The thing with Jim Clyburn is he's one of them. Oh, they tired and they white, upholding white supremacy, and you got white hair. Like I said, you don't have to be white to be a white supremacist. People don't understand that. We get so tied up in black, white, and other stuff like that. So you don't realize it, but you don't have to be a white person to support white supremacy. That's not a prerequisite for you to be white. Like you're upholding the ideals and the misteachings that were passed on to you. You don't got to be. So don't. When I say that, don't think it's me specifically talking about white people. It's talking about people that uphold white supremacy. The black people that's walking around in whiteface. Y'all done heard about blackface? There's also white. There's also whiteface. Jordan say, "In yo the help voice." Exactly. It's all it's tied and it's wide. Yeah, bro. No, but yeah, let me show y'all that. So this is.
I saw yesterday that I saw yesterday that.
So this is off of Charlamagne page. Charlamagne the Guy on the Breakfast Club. Of course, just want to play y'all this short clip, but this is Jim Clyburn talking about Jim Clyburn back in what was this November the 2nd, 2020.
VP Biden said in his first 100 days he plans to pass LGBTQ rights legislation. What would you want to see him pass for Black people in the first 100 days?
So he said that from Jump Street. So Biden not even in office, and Biden already said his first 100 days he's gonna pass LGBTQ rights or LGBTQ laws.
May shock you. I've already told him. I've already told all of his folks that aside from doing what is necessary to get us beyond this pandemic, here's what I want to see Joe Biden do, not the first 100 days, in the first 100 hours. I want him to create a commission to go out for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
I saw yesterday that
consequences of the 1986, eliminate the unintended consequences as a how, and come back with recommendations as a for 1 year, not the first 100 days, in the first 100 hours. I want him to create a commission to go out for 1 year and come back with recommendations as to how to eliminate the unintended consequences of the 1986 crime bill and the 1994 crime bill. I want to see both those crime bills studied intently, and I want to see recommendations coming to the president, to Joe Biden, as to how we can eliminate the unintended consequences of those crime bills. When you look at somebody said, well, we ought to repeal the 1994 crime bill. But remember, in the 1994 crime bill, we had community policing, we had drug courts, the violence against women, we had the pattern and practice of investigation of the police departments, and we had an assault weapons ban. All that was in the 94 crime bill. No, I want to look inside the crime bill. I want to look inside the 1986. That's where we got these mandatory minimums from, 1986. We need to get rid of mandatory minimums. We need to decriminalize marijuana. Why are people going to jail in South Carolina, some of them for extended periods of time, for the same thing that's illegal, that is legal in Colorado?
That's right.
You can buy it on every street corner in Colorado, but you come to South Carolina, you end up in prison. We need to reform all of these things. And so, to me, that's my number one thing with Joe Biden. Now, after that, we can talk about putting broadband in every home. My $100 billion bill that's already passed the House of Representatives, I want to see them pick that bill up and I'm going to reintroduce it. I want to see Joe Biden sign it, and I want to see broadband in every home. That's how we're going to have telehealth. That's how we're going to get online learning. That's how we'll do for rural America what electricity did in the 20th century. And then I want to see community health centers within commuting distance of everybody in this country, federally qualified community health centers, like Franklin Federal, there in Berkeley and Charleston counties, Beaufort Jasper Comprehensive Health Care down there. I want to see these kinds of federally qualified community health centers in every community so that you can have one within commuting distance of every home. And then I want to see us repeal sections of that big tax cut that Trump did. And Joe Biden has already said, if he's elected.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I can't listen to that bullshit no more. All right. Hey, I can't listen to that bullshit, man. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, bruh. Like, man, I can't. So, did in his first 100 hours, did he do any of that, Mr. Clyburn? Jim Clyburn, did he do any of that? Any of that shit you asked for, did he do any of that? Has any of that passed? And so these are the people that got to get out the way, man. These are the people that got to get out the way. The same people that's been misleading black people for the longest. Like, he didn't do what you said he should do. You supported him. You made sure that he got in there because you swayed the votes for him in South Carolina. He was dead in the water, bro. Excuse me. Joe Biden was out here talking. If you don't vote for me, vote for the other Biden. I'm sitting there looking like, well, who is the other Biden that's running for president? The fuck? Who is the other Biden? Like, what is he talking about? Talking out of his mind, man. But these are the people that we elect, man. These are the people that we elect. And black people, like, bro, you cannot tell me that continuing to support this is helping you, because it's not. They won't even pass a law that benefits black people. They'll literally write a law and put black people at the top. And when you start reading, it ain't nothing about black people, because they know a lot of people don't read. Kamala Harris will even talk about it, bro. Like, she tweeting about it, talking about black this, black that. And by the end of the tweet, she already moved over and she talking about something completely different. Because she care about getting stuff passed for immigrants and Asian Americans, because she's an Asian American woman. And it's not an attack on her, but like, stop using black people. If you're not going to help black people, don't hurt them. So stop using them to get what you need to get past as far as a talking point. Because if you say black people like, yep, they said something about me. See, she said black people when she first started talking. She said it blacky. She said it blacky people. She said it. And it's the symbolism that get me. Like y'all say, it's the what for me. It's the symbolism for me. It just is. Like, all they got to do is tell you they're going to do something. They give you no tangibles, and you cool with it. So if you're going to do anything, bro, if you're going to support the political process, if you're going to continue to after this point, bro, just be a little bit more sophisticated about it. That's all I can tell you. Like, I know I am. I'm not fucking with it. I'm not fucking with the political process. I'm not. And if you want to do it, do it. But don't sit here and argue with your family. Don't sit here and disown your kids or say your kids not doing right by your ancestors and all the people that died for you to be able to vote. All of that manipulative shit that older black people do. But I also have the right to. I got the right to choose. And if I see something ain't benefiting me, why would I continue to support it? You mad at me for not giving my time and energy to something that don't support me? The hell? What type of fool do you take me for? But that's all I'll say, man. Like, don't stop misleading black people and stop misleading the young, because the young got more fight than you never had in them. You know, I'm realizing shit now when I'm 30 years old. And if I got friends, if I got white people that don't understand me for how I feel, I got black people that don't understand me for how I feel, bruh. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. If you don't understand how I feel about this, then that's on you, man. I can't control that. You know, I can't control that, bro. And so it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. You know, if you don't see the two sides of America or how that stuff don't support you, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. But yeah, and I'm finna get ready to wrap it up for the night, man. I'm finna get ready to wrap it up. But I appreciate y'all coming through here. I appreciate y'all support. Like, always. Like I say, whether you watch this for 5 seconds or 5 minutes, I so appreciate it. I really do. And you could be anywhere in the world. You could be anywhere in the world, but you here with me on a Saturday, and I so appreciate it. And just continue to be beautiful, man. Continue to love yourself. And when it comes to the political process, just be smarter, man. Be smarter. Just don't try to brainwash people, man. Don't be an older black person who lived your life and you think because you older and you've lived longer that you got some type of authority on me and you're morally right because you voted and I didn't. And stop telling me because I don't vote, or if you don't vote, you don't get an opinion. The fuck? I live in this country and I pay taxes. So I do get an opinion. Don't say and tell me that. But you can't control people, man. You can't expect them to understand where you're coming from. But that's all I really want, man. I want black people to think about it more. Like, is this really supporting you? Is this really benefiting you? Country mama says the bold-faced lies for me. Same. The same, country mama. Like, I can't do it. I just can't. And for you to expect me to, it's kind of buck wild. But just remember, when you don't think there's two sides of America, When they were doing protests last year, there were people pulling up in unmarked vans and snatching peaceful protesters off the streets. In unmarked vans. They weren't in police uniforms either, just snatching people up off the streets. But when they ran in the Capitol, them Capitol cop killers, when they committed treason, an act of treason against their own country, uh, just like Ashley, there's some fucked up motherfuckers just evil. Like when they did that, they let them leave. They let them leave. They let them go home, and then they had to use video. You literally got the FBI putting up billboards in San Antonio talking about, if you know anybody, please help us. If you know anybody, please help us make arrests. I'm a law-abiding citizen. If I know your ass was at the Capitol, I'm gonna call. But why call when you're not gonna give them any time? You letting this lady fly to Mexico. When time and time again, if there's black people with no criminal record and they want to fly somewhere, you don't allow them because they're a flight risk. But you still say there aren't two Americas. All right, true Americans, aka white people. All right, true Americans, y'all keep believing that, but don't come up to me trying to have a conversation about race relations if you ain't gonna be honest with me. If you ain't gonna be honest and just speak about the shit we know. You know, y'all talk about epidemics and pandemics. There's been epidemics and pandemics in the black community affecting descendants of slaves since the beginning of this country. So don't come to me talking about the shit that's going on in your community when you only want to address the shit that's going on in mine. Y'all better not ever let me come into no real money and be able to help black people. Like some real money. I'm definitely gonna do that shit at least the people around me and create some generational wealth, because that's the real thing that you can pass on is generational wealth. It's not sitting here going to school and getting an education, running up $80,000 worth of debt, and not telling people that if you got $80,000 to spend, you'll do something better with it than running up debt to get an education where you might not get a job, because there's nobody out there that can guarantee you a job. But that's another topic for another day. Exactly. They some fucked up motherfuckers. It is. They are. Ashley just evil. Country mama say, fuck them and feed them beans. Yep. Fuck them and feed them beans. Exactly. Said, see, that's what I don't understand, why they didn't arrest their ass when they was all there. Because they see them as themselves. Like, white people have a problem holding other white people accountable. Like, that's why when I'm doing something and enjoying myself, these old racist white people or these old white supremacists. Exactly. And she just said that, right? I say like, comment, subscribe. Oh, yeah, if you have got to this point and you've been supporting me, I appreciate it. But make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all that. So when I go live, you get these notifications. But yeah, that's exactly right. You had the one family that turned in their dad, and their dad was like, you know what happened to snitches, right? Snitches get killed. And so for the ones that don't subscribe to that white supremacist shit, and you are a good white person, you're doing what you should. You're doing what you should. I can't really commend you for that because you're just doing what you should. But I appreciate you. And for the ones that's with that fuck shit, you know what you could do. Like Country Mama said, fuck them and feed them beans. Ash says it's the caucasity for me. Exactly. But whether you've been here for 5 seconds or 5 minutes, I so appreciate it. If you're watching from the future, I appreciate you for hopping in the DeLorean and watching us from the future, watching us on the playback. Thank you so much. I'm gonna try to finish up before 2 hours. But nah, this is something that's passionate to me, but I won't be supporting the political process no more. I won't. Until I see that shit start to benefit my people, I won't be supporting it. What's the sense in it? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for me to support it. I won't be. Country Mama said, rolling laughing emojis at Ash. Nah, but I appreciate y'all for coming through. Thank y'all for the support as always. Ash, Country Mama, Starlight came by for a little bit. Jay, Jacob, my baby, Joycelyn, I appreciate you. Thank you for the love and support. And you know, y'all just keep being the shit, because y'all are the shit, and I appreciate y'all. But whether this was your first time or your next time, I want to thank you for watching Say More Saturdays, where the only thing that's new is my perspective And I may not always like y'all ass, but I always love y'all.